product to purchase in market will increase when there is an increase in salary of that particular consumer. Another factor is a rise in the price of a close substitute. If a close substitute price increase, then there is going to be an increase in demand for that particular product, because people will leave the other product that is price increased to come to the other one that the price still remain the same or has fallen. The third factor is that a fall in the price of a complement. If there is a fall in the price of a complement, we have complement goods that are used together, that one of the goods is useless without the other. For example, now we can have cars and petrol. The number of people that will buy cars will reduce if the price of petrol keep increasing and increasing and increasing, because without petrol they will not be able to operate the car. But if the price of the complement, which is petrol, falls so much that anybody can just maintain it when he or she got a car, then there will be an increase in the purchase of car. And that means a fall in the price of the complement will increase the quantity demanded of a particular product. Another factor is a favorable change in consumer taste for the goods. If consumers just develop a favorable taste, an encouraging decision about the goods, then the consumer will tend to buy more of that goods at that particular period of time because of the change in the taste. Also, we have consumers' expectation of higher price in the future. When consumers learn that there is going to be a higher price of particular products in the future, the consumer tend to buy more of that product now, even more than he or she needs it now, in order to keep it so that it will not be victim of the higher price of the product in the future. And the last one is increment in the number of the consumers, of that particular product. If the number of the consumer of that particular product increases, then the demand for that particular product will definitely go up. Decrease in demand. Just talk about the increase in demand. The same way we still have decrease in demand. Decrease in demand is the total shift of demand from the original point into the left or downward. From this graph, we can see that the original curve, which is D2, shifts to D3. That means the original demand curve has changed the position into a new demand curve. It shows the decrease in quantity demanded. And what are the factors that are responsible for decrease in demand? One, a fall in consumers' income. When the consumer's income reduces, definitely the consumer will not be able to buy more of a particular product as he used to buy in the previous time. Then we have fall in the price of a close substitute. If the price of a close substitute also reduces, definitely the consumers will not be able to buy more. There will be a decrease in demand for that particular product. Also, we have a rise in the price of the complement. The price of the complement, the goods that are used together, increase, then the consumer will not be able to buy the other as much as he can. As much as he could in the other time that he has more of the products at his disposal. Also, we have unfavorable change in consumer's taste for the goods. If the consumer taste for the goods are changed negatively, so much that he has maybe developed another taste for another product, then there will be a decrease in the demand for that particular product. Then consumers' expectation of lower price of the product in the future. When the consumer hear that there is going to be a fall in the price of a particular product, even when they need the product now, they tend to wait till when the price reduces so that they will be able to buy the product at a lower cost in the future. That is another factor that is responsible for a decrease in demand for a particular product. And the last one is decrease in the number of the consumer. When the number of the consumer reduces, then the demand for that particular product will definitely reduce. Now, exception to the law of demand. The law of demand, as earlier stated, says that the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. But in some cases, the law does not apply to all the cases. That means the law will still go in the opposite direction, meaning that the higher the price, the higher the quantity demanded, which is an abnormal way of relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Now, what are the reasons behind the abnormal the way of relationship between demand and price? What are the exceptions to this law of demand? One, we have the case of inferior goods. The demand for cheap basic foodstuffs, for example, rises when their prices rises. For example, in Nigeria, we believe garri is part of the inferior goods, but when the price begins to increase, people begin to get it more because it's going out of the inferior set of goods, because it has now becoming something that we can buy with a high price. In that case, the increase in the price of an inferior goods tend to elevate the goods from the class of an inferior goods to a normal goods. This is because the low-income earner will not always be able to buy that particular product again, and it is only the high-income earner that will be opportune to buy that particular product and more of it. The two is the goods that we call failing goods. This is an exception to the law of demand. It's associated with the doctrine provided by Thorsten Veblen. A few goods like diamond, jewelry, golds, etc. are purchased by the rich and wealthy section of the society. Why? Because they consider those goods as the one that belongs to the people of high value in the society. The prices of those goods are so high that they are beyond the reach of the common man, and the higher the price of those goods, the higher the prestige placed, the prestige and the value placed on that goods. They believe the higher the price, the higher the value of that particular product. So the more the price is going up, the more the demand for it, in order to show that they are the means to get it in the society. So when the price of these goods fall, the consumer thinks that the prestige of that particular product, the value of that particular product has come down. Therefore, the demand for it will come down, and they tend to reduce the demand for that particular product because of the low price of that particular product. When the price falls, they will not buy it because it is believed that the product doesn't have much of the value as it used to be. The third one is necessity goods. Certain things become the necessity of life. So when we have to purchase them despite their high prices, those necessity goods are the goods that we cannot do without. Whether the price is high or low, we just have to buy it. So as the price is even increasing, the demand for that particular product will not reduce. Therefore, the demand for that particular product will violate the law of demand that says the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The other factor is the ignorance. The consumer's ignorance is another factor that at times induces the consumer to purchase more of a particular product at a higher price. When consumers lack the normal knowledge of a particular product, the influence of the advertisement and some other sales promotion can affect the consumer to buy such product at a high price, whereas it's supposed to be bought at a lower price. The other factor is emergency. In the case of an emergency like war or famine in a society, it also negates the law of demand. Why? Because at such period of time, the household and the consumer will behave in a way that it is somehow abnormal, because the price may be going up and yet they will still need to buy it because of the case at hand, because there is an emergency to meet in that particular period of time. So also foresee scarcity or an increase in purchase even at a higher price during such period. They tend to even buy more in order to save, so that at the time that there won't be any at hand again, you have something to use. Also, we have future changes in price. When the consumer heard of an increase in the price of a particular product in the future, in the nearest future, they tend to speculate and say, oh, let's get this more now, so that we will not be able to, we will not buy it at a higher price in the future. And when they heard of a fall in the price of that particular product in the future, they tend to buy less now, even when they need more. They tend to buy less now so that they will save more to buy more in the future, so that they will save more cost. And the last one is change in fashion. Some some products come with fashion so much that even when they don't need it, consumers tend to buy it just to feel along with what is on trend in the town, so that they will have what other people are having in the society. In that case, they tend to buy more of such a particular product that comes with fashion in society. Types of demand. There are 4 basic types of demand. 1, we have competitive demand. 2, we have joint or complementary demand. 3, we have composite demand. And 4, we have derived demand. Let's take it one after the other. Competitive demand. Commodities are substitute if one can be used in place of the other. Substitute goods serve the same purpose and therefore can compete for the consumer's income. They are said to be competitive demand because of the fact that they can compete for the consumer's income. That is why it is called competitive demand. A good examples are Milo and Bonfita, then butter and margarine. And we have so many other ones like that. So a change in the price of one will definitely affect the demand for the other. If, for instance, there is an increase in the price of